Chapter 4 The Temple of Godania. A cool ocean breeze. The sun shining brightly. Drake began regaining consciousness. He somehow washed up on a beach, unharmed. The storm was gone, no monstrous sea creatures around, and the ocean was calm again. Drake got up, soaked and covered in sand. Though he was alone. He looked around and noticed something peculiar in the distance. The grassy plains that started a while further on rose higher at a certain spot, formed a hill with on top a temple. Tall, angelic stairs led to the temple. Drake knew to climb the stairs and to head for it. Drake could hear his soaked shoes squeaking with every step. When he made it to the top, he paused in front of a great door. He knocked at first, but there was no response. He pushed the doors open, and the first thing he saw were Haru and Julia, laughing, relaxing, and seemingly having forgotten all about Drake. "You've got to be kidding me." Hey," Julia said enthusiastically. Pi and Haven sat at a large table with Haru and Julia next to them. "Oh, don't worry, Drake. Pi told us about the challenges and that you were safe and unharmed, which is why we didn't worry." The room was letting in a lot of light, and the roof seemed to be made of clouds. "Everything was safe. We were never really at risk. Can you believe it?" Haru said, laughing. Drake looked at everyone in great anger. He walked with his squeaky shoes towards the god he recognized to be Pi. You, a mosasaur? Really? Yeah, cool, huh? No! Well, sorry, but you did wonderfully. Congratulations on making it here. You three are the first mortals to make it here. That's quite something." "Well, technically they were first," Drake said, looking at Haru and Julia. "Why were they first?" "The waves of the sea pushed you all to the shore. With you, it took a little longer." "I passed out, I recall. That was you?" "You had completed the challenge, so there was no need to experience the remaining hours of getting here. I kept you three safe all this time. I wouldn't risk the lives of our heroes for a couple of tests." "Well, I'm tired." "Wait, I'm not. How? Whatever. I'm so confused. Take a seat, Drake." Drake did what Pi told him. His shoes were still squeaking when he made his way to one of the few available chairs. Pi moved his hand and, just like Calypso did when they entered Dragonia, removed all the water from his clothes and shoes. Drake was completely dry again. "Thank you." It was quiet for a second. "Actually, resting will have to wait," Haven said. "Follow me. I will tell you our history." Drake hit his head on the table, annoyed by everything that happened and that he wouldn't get to rest. Nonetheless, he followed Haven. The five of them walked to a hall, of which the walls were engraved with drawings. The drawings illustrated what Haven was about to tell them. A long time ago, the first two gods roamed the universe. You may know them as Gaia and Uranus, but here they were named Terra and Aaron. I believe we call Terra the same as the Romans did in your world. Terra and Aaron had children, of which one was called Chiron, our father. "Kronos," Drake said. "Indeed. He was the one who built this temple. When Chiron did so, with the help from the Titans, Chiron wrote the past, the present, and the future on these very walls. Whatever happened, happened according to these inscriptions, but there was always something that the gods feared above all." They walked further through the hall until the drawing stopped. The end. "Why did it stop?" Drake asked. "Wait, those three, is that us?" "Yes, that's you three, and I assume you know who you three are facing on here." "It's Mordor." The last drawing showed three children, very much like Drake, Haru, and Julia, standing up against Mordor. "So why does it end here?" Drake asked again. A question even the gods had since the beginning, and we feared one thing from the start: our last age. The end of the Age of Gods. "That's possible?" Julia asked. "We have no idea what is possible," Haven answered. "But something will end the gods, something will bring us down. Centuries time, yet we never figured it out." "Well, maybe that Chiron is wrong," Haru said. "Maybe he just couldn't see further than this." "We'd like to believe that, yes." "So what's the next move? What do we do to keep Mordor from escaping the underworld?" Drake asked. "We will have to prevent him from doing so ourselves, which is why our journey eventually leads to Helm's domain. But first, let me quickly introduce you to the other gods." Before they left, Drake took one last glance at the drawings. In the prediction shortly before the last, he thought he recognized the boy and the girl illustrated, but he assumed it was his imagination, and forgot about it right away. They exited the hallway and entered a new room. Several gods were seated at another bigger golden table. They were in discussion with each other while waiting for the arrival of the three children. Let me introduce you to everyone, Haven said. They approached the nearest goddess. This is Adorite. So you three are Drake, Harrow, and Julia, she said. It's an honor. Likewise, Julia answered politely. They were introduced to the next god. This is Somno, Haven said. Nice to meet you, Somno said with a deep voice. And hey, if you ever feel tired, you can come to me. Haha. While a bit confused, they kept walking. I didn't get that, Julia said. Is he the god of sleep? Drake asked. Indeed he is, Haven answered. They approached another god. Maestro. How are you all doing? Maestro spoke to them. Could have been better, but it is an honor meeting you, Drake answered. They continued walking, while Maestro peacefully kept humming. He prefers to be called Maestro, but you may know him as Apollo, Haven whispered. A day not sung is a day not lived, Maestro said randomly, enthusiastically. Meeting all the gods didn't exactly go quickly. In Greek mythology, the other gods that they met that day were called Athena, Artemis, Demeter, Hera, Hephaestus, Ares, Hercules, Achilles, Perseus, Helios, Dionysus, who was a tad tipsy, and the messenger of the gods, Hermes. The god with the goat legs, Pan, was seated at the table as well. Even Aeolus, the keeper of the winds, came to visit from kilometers away. Only one Olympian was missing, Hades, Helen. What do you call this temple? Drake asked. It's our home, same as everyone calls it, Haven answered. Olympus, Drake said. And the only one missing is Helen. He was always missing, never the social type. Only now he doesn't have a choice. Haven didn't answer, only stayed in front of him, worriedly. After having been introduced to everyone, the three in Haven walked outside. As you travel to the underworld, you will be faced with several tasks, or tests, Haven started. They are all designed by the gods. The landscapes can change, the climate can change drastically, the creatures can be anything. Once you have completed one of these tests, one of us will award you with something you can use to go up against Mordor, should things eventually go terribly wrong. These tests won't be easy, but I have faith you are all capable of succeeding. Oh, and something else. Godania knows no time. Every living being's body will experience the same moment over and over again, meaning you will never feel tired or the need to eat. Now, listen carefully. Mordor is cunning, and therefore I think if he does break out, he will try to fight you in Uranian, north of Dragonia. The moment you set foot outside of Godania, you will suddenly experience all the exhaustion you were supposed to feel if Godania was affected by time. You will collapse. The moment you are forced to leave Godania, you will need to find a safe place to rest and restore. But let's hope it never gets to that. Haven, why aren't we going straight for the underworld? Drake asked. We might be way too late once we get there. I know, but I cannot send you there with a sword, boomerang, and bow and arrow. You will need these rewards, and they need to be awarded, not just given. We will see what we can do to prevent his escape. I still don't understand. What is our part in this? Did you forget who you are? You're Drake Fannings, the hope of Dragonia. Mordor won't stop until he gets you. But I am just a kid. You are a god. I'm a god, but Mordor might be too. I'm sorry, I wish it were different. But this time, we will keep you safe. Good luck, my friends. We will see each other soon. Bye, Haven, Drake said. Until next time. The three walked down the stairs, away from the temple. They headed north. Oh, and say hi to Gygas from me, Haven said before they were too far away. I will, Drake replied. Who is Gygas? Julia asked. Assuming you're still not that fond of Cyclopses, I doubt you'd want to know. Oh, not again. The temple behind them disappeared as they made more distance. It vanished and seemed to not be there anymore, hidden to others. On their way to their first test, Drake wondered why Haven had given him 3 gold coins. What were they for?